What is good, Cardano fam, ADA gang? We have lots of exciting updates to unpack today. Some controversial drama, lots of development. Is there ever a boring day with Cardano? I think not. So hit that subscribe, hit that like. NFT daily volume surpasses 200,000 ADA. Bitfinex is the first exchange ready to support the Cardano Chang Hard Fork. Great work, Bitfinex, and we're getting close, guys. Around the corner. It could happen August 12th. Cardano just reached 71% overall SPOs running 9.1. We will hit 70% of blocks produced by tomorrow and 75% easily by August 12th. Plutus V3, ZK contracts, and the most advanced voting system in the industry are just a few SPOs away. Let me remind you guys that even Linux Foundation for their governance was crediting the work of Cardano. This is amazing, guys. Now available on the Wanchain Bridge, the first ever gold-backed token on Cardano, brought to us by Tether. Fabulous to see Wanchain enhancing the DeFi ecosystem, especially with stables. So I think this is great. I really like the work that Circle and Tether are doing, and I think it's going to be more important that we bring more stuff for USDC, more stuff for USDT. They're staple names, you know what I'm saying? But we'll dive into the other staples, stablecoins towards the end of the video. Once opened, Hydra heads operate independently. If each Hydra head has a throughput of 100 TPS and 10,000 heads are opened, this results in 1 million transactions being processed in parallel. 1 million TPS in parallel. I mean, guys, speaking of TPS, I'll take a casual 1 million. Don't mind if I do. This is a further proof that Cardano has been thinking about scalability since the early days, and we're seeing a lot of the fruit of that labor finally pay off. Nice poll, says Charles. So guys, the final poll, Cardano versus Ethereum, is it even like a challenge? Well, already we have basically 7x the votes for Cardano versus Ethereum. You guys can check this out, the good nice poll in the description. Everything is always linked in the description, so definitely show some support to this poll. Drop a nice ADA comment if you will. Well, yesterday we saw Ben slam Cardano. He said Cardano will die, it's dead, ADA is dead, so on and so forth. Blah, 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 blah. Charles' response. That's the response. I think that it's the best response. Because what are you really going to say to that, you know, guys? And don't get it wrong, guys. I don't want to react to Ben Armstrong, but like sometimes I have to do National Geographic documentary. It doesn't sway my opinion, nor will it sway the Angry Crypto fam's opinion. But sometimes we got to stand up to some of the FUD. Some of the FUD is a little bit crazy. So it is what it is. I saw lots and lots and lots of MOG comments. And guys, if you're in the MOG community, you know that we've been covering MOG since last year. Where is his MOG video? You know, so don't fall for sometimes like just vanity or just taking it at surface level. Do a little bit more research. I've always had a positive sentiment on MOG. I covered MOG a year ago. And when it comes to him being the XRP commander, he never addressed stuff like Zahao and other key pain points causing some founders to leave the chain. Instead, it's always been like cross-border and, you know, all that jazz. I don't say that as disrespect, and I wish the best for Ben. But I just don't like the ultra slamming of a project. A little bit of Twitter banter, no problem. But let's wish the best for Ben and his family, and hopefully time will tell. You know, I just wish the best for him. Former president's son is announcing some sort of DeFi platform. It's still in the making, and it's aimed at challenging the traditional banking system and addressing financial inequality. During a Q&A, he clarified that it's going to be a larger platform designed to disrupt banking access, though it's still in the early stages and will take time to develop. So guys, we see that decentralization is a core tenet for Cardano. We have, I mean, let me know of another L1 that's handing over a near $1 billion treasury, burning of the Genesis keys, the decentralization with the hyperscalability. It's a nice combination. This is probably the new point of drama, so we left Ben and we have a new one. How Satoshi collaborator Zuko Wilcox aims to revive his zombie blockchain. And we need to first do some preface. So there's this post and it talks about Cardano in there and whatnot. Charles says, Steve, you are seriously calling Cardano an Ethereum clone. So he calls it an Ethereum clone and Charles a cult leader. Pretty low blow, man, says Charles. And let's continue to read. For those who don't want to pay for Forbes garbage, says Charles, it's sad to see how far they have fallen. And zooming into this article, because these are usually just kept behind a paywall. Founder of Bitcoin, blah, 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 blah. Ethereum founder, Vitalik Buterin, and then we see here, Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson is a cult leader for his fans of his Ethereum clone blockchain. It's so crazy because you don't need to be a developer. I'm not a developer. I'm a graphics guy. I'm a UX guy. A simple Google, a simple ChatGPT search. Like, how lazy has traditional journalism become? It's mind-boggling. So Yoda did a great job, but let's see also David Gokhshtein chimed in. He said that was pretty petty to call Cardano a clone of Ethereum. David, I've worked with him. He's amazing with media and covering projects from meme coins to everything under the sun. And like, even from him, he's saying that, right? And it's like, he's saying like, and he's not a developer, right? He's like a podcaster, Spaces host and whatnot. Runs an agency, and he's saying that that's petty. But let's see what Cardano Yoda said. Cardano Yoda is a much more technical individual. This is a shame of journalism and the inability to find out basic information about the crypto industry. Ethereum uses an account-based model. BFT consensus, infinite ETH inflation plus burning, and EVM to execute smart contracts. Cardano uses the EUTXO model, Nakamoto consensus, which has a hard cap number of ADA and Plutus scripts. There are more significant differences. Writing that Cardano is a clone of Ethereum is total nonsense and probably a deliberate lie. Yeah, it's just like very bizarre, not even close. So to just call it like a clone or a fork or something like that, there's plenty of those projects that exist today, and yet he's name dropping a project that's arguably one of the most contrasting as Ethereum clone. Is so lazy, guys. It's so lazy. Well, I know what's not lazy, and that's the SNEK community, the rest of the community, World Mobile Token, Nike. He's definitely a good pig. Cardano tokens with the most volume, 30-day. SNEK is doing an incredible job. I love the SNEK coin bot. SNEK, Hosky, Nike, they continue to grow on me. Minswap, there's so many great projects. I have to dive into a few more projects, but wow, is there ever a day in Cardano where it's not bustling with development? I don't think so. Speaking of development, staking rewards are getting even juicier for Minswap. Stake Min, earn real yield ADA, launch Bull tokens, and now Min. 200k Min to be distributed to stakers this month. Don't mind if I do. But that's not it. Minswap is ready for Chang. This is a huge milestone for Cardano, and we at Labs have geared up for it. Read about it from our lead smart contract engineer, Richard. A few nice tweets here, short and sweet. GM Cardano builders. The Conway era is approaching fast, and Minswap is ready. Here's what we've prepared. Script data hash. In pre-Conway eras, a null redeemer led to ADA datums. My bad, I'm not a developer. With Conway, this changes to A0 datums, A0, where the null redeemer is now an empty map. A lot of technical jargon, but we'll take it as it is. Reference script fee. Conway introduces an incremental fee for reference scripts and transactions. Finally, cost models. Conway brings new cost models for Plutus V3 and updates for Plutus V1 and V2. Fetch the latest models from Cardano node to avoid potential off-chain downtime due to hard-coded models. Hey, we all want to avoid potential off-chain downtime. If you know, you know. So don't mind if I do. And my apologies, I'm not a developer, guys, when it comes to understanding some of this jargon, so, forgive me in regards to that. Overview of stablecoins in the Cardano ecosystem. So, we saw how Tether Gold coming to Wanchain. And which is your favorite, guys? I mean, I saw IUSD popping up there. Some people like the algorithmic, some people don't. I really, really yearn for the day that we just see, like, Tether and Circle just deploy natively straight and bring in an influx of liquidity. But still, like, there's a lot of total transactions. There's more and more getting minted. So I think we're in a step in the right direction. And perhaps once Q4 and beyond come, we'll have some catalysts to have more influx of liquidity. But y'all have a certain favorite? Is there a favorite that you guys like? USDM, what have you? Is there a certain one that you go to? I personally, guys, I love USDC and USDT the most. Imagine you pay $10 for a transaction and it fails. Another attempt will cost an additional $10. Try Cardano, fees are fixed and transactions do not fail. Pretty important to me if you ask me. Resilience, DDoS resistance, not failing, uptime for nearly 7 years, the list goes on. How are those things not important to institutions, let alone everyday users? The numbers go up, project is good, mentality is wrong, and does not work. Why? Because price growth does not correlate with the quality of decentralization. We saw Zerberus highlight that, comparing Pavi to SundaeSwap, showing that just price is not a good indicator of a good project. Sometimes it's a lagging indicator. Price is important, but it doesn't tell the full story. The growth of project capitalization is easy to manipulate. False narratives and nostalgia are also influential. Decentralization must win if the blockchain industry is to change the world. No other way is possible. Guys, lest we forget, BitConnect was in the top 15. Lest we forget, SafeMoon was top 100. Lest we forget Luna. People had so much conviction in Luna and UST, and what happened with that one? Well, you guys know what happened with that one. So sometimes solid good projects are fudded endlessly, as we see with situations with Ben, as we see with many other situations like Forbes just writing a garbaggio. Now, the nice thing with this too was that comments jumped in, the community notes jumped in. So the Cardano community, very active, community notes. And ultimately, when we come back to this and we think about price go up, price can go up fast, but if price goes up fast, it'll also come down very fast. And we have to look at lagging indicators, strong community, is there growth? And to me, as someone who has looked at hundreds of meme coins, and ironically, like looking at ones that have potential like Mog, where his video didn't exist, I look at things like brand and narrative and speculation and storyline and leader and the product market fit. And I have high conviction in Cardano. I have other projects. I have XRP, I have this, but Cardano is my number one altcoin pick and number one holding. I think that there's immense potential, and I don't even mind if the price goes down, because if the price goes down, the lower it goes, the higher it goes. One thing that people make a big mistake with altcoins is that they don't realize that Altseason inherently has to capitulate in order to skyrocket. It needs to. And I see a lot of people on Twitter trolling and not looking at things like Google Trends, not looking at Bitcoin dominance, not looking that Bitcoin dominance is so high, not looking at Bitcoin dominance 40% here and there, and jumping to conclusions. So they have the timing wrong. And it's dangerous because a broken clock is right twice. It's the equivalent of a guy sitting down saying, hey, it's going to snow. And when it does eventually in 6 months, like Capo nonsense, he'll say, look, I was right. But it's not enough to just be right, because you missed out on the opportunity, and you got to speculate to accumulate. You got to combine those two. So Altseason, in my eyes, is not here yet. Decentralization is clearly a very important thing, as we see going into this season with the United States. DeFi, compliance are very key, and it's not coincidence that Ripple finally had its completion also in this same time. Coincidence? I think not. Why would they finish it and then just be like, okay guys, close up shop, bear market's here? Come on guys, it's not that. It's not, and it's not coincidence. So one thing I will say before we wrap up, guys, is let's not forget the great development is happening on the floor. Still waiting for SNEK.fun. Still waiting for the Rocket platform that I signed up for. I did set up my settings and everything for ChronoShot, so expect my react this weekend on that sci-fi game. And lest we forget, Pig.party, great innovations from the Nike community members. From idea to market in moments, creators earn trading fees after bonding, instant market making algorithm, new features releasing next week. So good stuff. It's great to see the inspiration from other networks also pouring into Cardano. So can Cardano surpass its previous all-time high? Absolutely. I saw the founder of Sappy Seals clowning on Cardano, clowning on Nike, and then I went to his project and I had less volume on his token than Nike with a struggling NFT price floor. So usually when people are trolling, just go to their project, unravel the onion, and you'll see like what is their ulterior motive. And Cardano, again, like strong community search, a lot of search queries, and there's going to be qualitative stuff we can't actually see, discussions behind the scenes, speculators who are waiting for price go up to have their conviction that it's legitimate, like the normie perspective. So there's multiple dimensions with this, guys. Of course, one day maybe I'll just break down all the dimensions of price, but it's not just like, oh, this is a rug because the price is down. We have to look at all the other factors. And with that treasury, with governance, I think, guys, we're going to be set to be perfectly peanut butter and jelly for the United States and the rest of the world for adoption. Lest we forget, Bitcoin, also they said it's dead hundreds and hundreds of times. So at the end of the day, a good project is going to be polarizing. People are going to love it. They're going to hate it. And let's thank the haters for letting Cardano live in their head rent-free, because at the end of the day, they're talking about Cardano and it's not a different chain. But we will document it a la National Geographic. What do you guys think about Ben? Is Charles' response pretty accurate? And finally, what is your response to this like Ethereum clone nonsense with Charles calling Forbes, basically Forbes is garbage? Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of these subscription news, and I'm glad that Charles shared this to us because I wouldn't have known. I would have had to sign up, and I'm sure that was hidden down below the article. So appreciate the Cardano community for pushing transparency and holding their ground. Guys, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Appreciate you guys. If you like this video, hit that subscribe, hit that like. I will see you guys in the next Angry Crypto Show.